This happened 1 week ago, a Monday, my worst day in over 5 years. I'm a locksmith by trade and the job requires me to be up on ladders fixing doors and locks, and whatever else is broken on a door. I was working on the main entrance door to a large second-hand store. Sometimes I have to block off an entryway to fix a door, and if I do I always try and find another option for customers to enter and exit the building. I opened an emergency exit door off to the right, maybe 10 feet away, of where I was working to make sure there was a door they could use. I'm working away, minding my own business, up on my ladder, listening to my audiobook on my Bluetooth headset, when entitled Karen and child walk towards me. Karen, excuse me, I need to get in the store. Me, well, this entry is out of order right now but Karen, I need in now. You can't block the door. Me, yes, well if you let me finish what I was saying. Karen, you need to move out of my way. Me, getting annoyed, there is a door over there. You can go in there. Karen, no. This is closer. Me, now angry, look. Stop bothering me, and go over there. This is when Karen takes things to the next level, and by the next level I mean she gets arrested. Karen had none of my yelling at her. She grabs her son by the wrist, who has been standing by saying nothing, and tries to climb under my ladder, while I'm on it. Her large purse caught on the side rung of my ladder, and pulled it over, sending me, my tools, and the motor of the handicap operator I was working on smashing to the ground. I fell on my shoulder, breaking my collarbone, and dislocating my shoulder. The motor hit the ground, and shattered and the ladder fell on her and her son. A cashier who saw the whole thing through the window, rushed over to see if I was okay. I said no, something is broken, a bit in shock, call the police and an abundance. They arrive and the police take statements and I tell them I want to press charges before I was loaded up in the ambulance and taken to the hospital. The kid's father came to get the kid who was not hurt thankfully, and she was taken away in handcuffs. No word yet on a court date or anything. Since then, I've been off work. In pain, all because Karen wanted some second-hand crap. Yes, you saw that correctly. They took their 5 to 6-year-old daughter to see a rated R movie with blood and violence. But, ignoring that for now, let's just get this story over with. I walk into the theater with my boyfriend, and immediately I can hear this kid being as loud as physically possible. Okay, whatever, as long as she isn't making noise during the movie, I don't give a crap. Movie starts, all is fine for about 2 minutes, until this kid is talking loudly. Everybody ignored it for a while, deciding to just try and focus on the movie, and it worked, for a little bit at least. I look over, about an hour into the movie, and this goddamn kid scared the crap out of me. She's standing there, right beside me, waving her finger in my face and making noise. What the F? Who lets their kid wander around in a theater? Kid's parents refused to get her, but I eventually was left alone again, as the dad begrudgingly got up and yelled at her to come back. Once again, this kid is being as loud as can be. Finally, someone has enough. You can hear a royally pissed off guy sitting somewhere behind us shout, seriously? The whole effing movie? Get that kid out of here. They didn't leave, refused to actually. But, I guess they realized that nobody in that theater was on their side, and they made their daughter shut the hell up. I know I should have said something, but I didn't want to be that a-hole who disturbs a movie, especially considering I wanted to watch it. Funnily enough, I saw them out in the parking lot afterwards, and they were talking on the phone and completely ignoring the kid. Honestly feel bad for her, having to be raised by such airhead parents. I work at the service desk of a large well-known big box hardware lumber store. On this day I look up to see an M with 4 high school aged girls, all on their phones looking pretty disinterested. They walk up to my register and ask for a store manager. We are asked to field these type of questions to see if it's just something we can take care of ourselves and not bother the mods. Me, sure I can do that. What is this regarding? The mom slightly elbows one of the girls forward who hands me a letter which is a request for donations for the high school, which we get about 3 times a day. I immediately say Odan is our manager who handles donation requests. He is not here today, but I would be happy to deliver this to him when he arrives, and have him call you. This response normally gets a thank you, and then the person leaves, but not this group. M side eyes me. Oh, I see. So you're saying we can't see a manager? Me. Of course you can. I would be happy to call a manager, but all donation requests go to Dan. Would you like me to call another manager to speak to you? M to speak to me? Me. As she points to the girls. I can see she's working herself up to making a scene. I pick up the phone to call a manager to get myself out of this. The phone is busy as I'm holding the receiver to my ear. The mother leans in screeching. I'm trying to teach my daughter how to stand up for herself while she is requesting donations. Do you understand that? I'm empowering my daughter to deal with confidence destroyers like you. Now, her daughter to this point has not said a word to me. The mother was the one speaking and in charge of this little interaction. Those girls could have cared less about speaking to a manager. As a matter of fact, the girl is just standing there and now her blank stare has changed to complete embarrassment at her mother, and her eyes start to fill with tears. I have been nothing but kind and by the book, so this Insta rage was pretty shocking. And now my daughter is crying. How dare you? Yes, you had done call me. And they charge out the door. One of the girls makes eye contact with me, and you could tell she was mortified. I can only imagine how many times that poor girl has witnessed these type of things from her mother. I'm sure the mother believes being a pissed off person will get her what she wants, and in fact she's teaching her daughter and her friends to be abusive bullies who believe everyone's out to get them, so you have to get them first. The next day I handed our manager the donation request without saying a word. Hello again. So I have a few more stories from my time as an active LARPer, but I feel this one is perfect for EP. So let me give you a little background on how a pay to attend single event LARP works. After we fill the spaces available, usually first come, first serve through the payment of a deposit, the ref team comes together and starts working on characters. We get the players to fill in a survey for us about their character preferences, anything we need to avoid, any personality traits they'd like to have, gender, whether they have an in-game relationship, etc. Some people give us lots of detail, others are just happy to tell us what we should avoid. Now usually, we are familiar with a lot of the players participating, so we have an idea of what they play well, what they best suit, etc. Like, you don't shove an incredibly shy person into a big commanding leadership role unless they specifically request it. Down the line, the players then receive a good 6 to 8 character backstory written by a member of the ref team. I can't tell you how awesome it is to have come up to you on release day and be like, holy crap dude, I love my character. Anyway, the LARP in question for this story was this really cool, really tense weekend event focused around a group of freedom fighters in an unspecified civil war type scenario. As the group planned a big attack, they had to deal with drama within the group as well as a slowly intensifying assault from an unknown, unseen, supernatural enemy. To the ref team's surprise, one of the players who signed up was a freshman we shall call entitled Moneybags undergrad, or EMU. This event took place in the second semester, so EMU had been in the college role-playing society, where 90% of our players came from, for a semester. He had never shown any interest in the LARP events run by the society, but he had been fairly active in the tabletop side of things. Anyway, EMU signs up in person, as most of the refs attended society meetings, and we were like, okay cool, someone new. He didn't put much on his character survey, like barely anything, if we are being honest, and his own specific request was that he have a role where he had a lot to do. As I was the only writer who vaguely knew him, he played in one of the tabletop campaigns I was running for the society. I was assigned EMU as one of my characters to write. In short, EMU's character was the radio operator, was the player party. It was a decently important role and the radio started off as broken at the start of the event, meaning he would have to spend some time fixing it. I also knew from my tabletop game, and from speaking the DMs of the other games he was in, that he had a tendency to be immature and mess around a little bit. And besides, this was his first LARP ever by his own account, so we didn't want to thrust him into anything too major. So in the end, I make this really cool character. He's a little cocky, a bit of a joker, but he respects the chain of command. I figured this would allow him to play the slightly immature character he seemed to prefer playing in tabletop games without it ruining the experience of others. Besides, everything we were using as inspiration, alien, Predator, Assault on Precinct 13 etc. had that jokey, cocky character. It was just fitting for the genre of the game. So release day, about 2 months before the game, comes around and the players I had been assigned, 4 of the 16, love their characters. Even Emu seemed happy enough. But that night, I get home from my bartending job to find an email. Dear Mr. Op, I am led to believe that you are the one to speak to about this acting event my son is involved in. I would like to know as to why my son has been relegated to some superfluous minor role when he says he asked for the lead. Please rectify this immediately or we shall be demanding a refund. Mrs. Emu's mother. In all my years of running games, I had never received anything like this. Sure, people had asked for minor tweaks to their character, usually because they felt they would struggle to tackle the role given to them, or they just wanted some small details changed. Op, I just want to butt in here and ask why you didn't just give this boy the main role. I've read enough entitled parent stories to know that that is not what you did. Hi there preemptive comment section resident. I'm not sure how you got in here, but let me address your question while I have you. There are 2 reasons why this story will not see Emu take on a starring role in the LARP. Firstly, the leader of the freedom fighters was being played by a plant, someone we had placed in the player party without the knowledge of the other players, basically, a deep cover NPC. This was because they were going to be the first to die to the mysterious entity attack the freedom fighters, just to add a little more chaos. Secondly, Emu was a complete unknown. No one had seen him LARP, and by his own admission, he had never done this before. We tended to reserve leadership roles to known LARPers, just so the role wouldn't be undermined. It sucks, I know, but we have to consider the enjoyment level of 16 players and most of the time, try to avoid a veteran player usurping the leadership tropes from an inexperienced player. In a ho, I reached out to Emu and asked if we could meet up for coffee that weekend to talk this over. He says okay and a few days later, I meet him on campus. However, the dude shows up with his effing mom. Turns out she's visiting for the weekend and is at this meeting to make sure I don't bully her kid or whatever. Me, hi Emu. So I'll get right to it. I just wanted to sit down with you and see what we can do to make your character better for you. I was sorry to hear that you didn't enjoy what I written for you. Emu, no, it's just, I dunno. It seemed a little boring. Emu's mom, my son is such a talented actor, he deserves the lead. Me, just straight up ignoring the mom. What was boring about it? Emu, I dunno. I just don't wanna be sat by a radio all game while everyone else does cool stuff. Me, completely understanding where he is coming from, because I felt that way in my first LARPs as a player. Well honestly, that's just who you are at the start of the game. Remember, this thing runs Friday to Sunday and you know, it isn't just going to stick to the pitch we gave you. And besides, radio operator is going to be a really vital role in the scenario of the game. I get how you feel. I haven't loved some of the characters I've been given, but the thing you have to do is just play the role. Get involved. You're only going be sat by a radio all game if you choose to sit by a radio all game. Don't worry, there are going to be things for you to do in that role, and you will 100% be able to interact with the main story and all that. Emu, oh okay. Yeah, I guess I was being a little short-sighted. Emu's mom, don't apologize to this bully, baby. You, to me, will not just sweet talk your way into keeping my son in this awful role. Emu, mom, it's fine. Emu's mom, no. I paid a lot of money for you to do this, and I will get my money's worth. I start to try and explain about we didn't want to overwhelm her son in his first ever LARP, how he didn't give us a lot of stuff to work with, and how, since everyone is paying the same, there is no inherent advantage to any one character. Of course, she cuts me off. Emu's mom, I don't want to hear it. Make my son the star or we shall be demanding a refund. Me. 1. I won't, and 2. It's non-refundable and your son knew that when he signed up. Emu's mom, then I'll sue. Emu, mom please. Emu's mom, no Emu, we are going. I'll see you in court young man. Me, I look forward to hearing from your lawyers. Emu's mom drags her son out of the coffee shop, screeching about how she's going to sue yada yada yada. At the next society meeting, EMU, or other reformed entitled moneybags undergrad, after I took the time to explain why he wasn't just going to be made a lead character in his first ever LARP, apologized for his mom, and said that she probably wasn't going to sue. Apparently she just said that a lot because it got her free stuff now and then. I didn't get sued, and he went on to really enjoy the game. As I had said, the radio operator was a pretty vital role, and even he got to die a big hero's death as he sealed himself in a room with the traitor and some of the monsters that had been attacking the party. I'm an upholsterer, which if you don't know means I fix seats and make covers for seats, mainly car seats. For example, if the fabric on your driver's seat has ripped open, I can make and fit a cover for it, but that costs time and money, to concepts that entitled parents apparently don't understand. This only happened about an hour ago, so it's pretty fresh in my mind. M. Entitled monster, mother. Ed. Entitled dip crap, daughter. Me, Vault Hunter. I got a call this morning around 8 AM. A woman saying she'll see me at 5:10 PM. Okay, fair enough. I finish here at 6. End call 4:30 PM. She shows up with another car behind her. I was just finishing up my second job, so asked her to wait a few moments, which she spent standing around me with her arms crossed, sighing at me. I got it finished, took my payment and let the guy leave with his car. I then called her in, and she shouted her daughter over, and then it began. M. I want a cover made for the seats in her car. Me. What car is it? What year? M. Are you stupid? It's right outside. Me. It's no good to me there, miss. Ed. It's a make of car, and I don't know what year. Me. What's the license plate say? Ed plus EM. I don't know. I went and looked at it. 2019. I didn't have the pattern for it, seeing as it was so new. Me. I don't have the patterns for that car. It's new and I only have the patterns for the version before this one. M. I don't care. Make the covers for her. Make of car. Me. That would take me roughly a week, and I'd need to have the car and the keys to make the patterns. M. No, you don't need the keys. Me. How am I going to unlock it? Ed. You're not having my keys. Me. Then I can't do anything for you, miss. Sorry. I began to walk to my desk as my phone was buzzing away when M started clicking at me to get my attention. This is one of the most annoying things to do. M. Hey dip crap, are you going to start making daughter's name seat covers already? Me. Not unless you are going to give me the keys to it and about a week to make patterns and covers. M. You don't need the keys. You'll steal the car and sell it. Me. What makes you think I'd be so stupid, miss? M. If you're going to make covers for free, you'll obviously sell it to make some money. Me. And what makes you think my services are free? M. You told me they're free on the phone. Me. No, I didn't. M. Well, how much are they going to cost? Me. Roughly. Money. Quite a bit of it too. M. What? But that's too much. Me. That's the price I've given you, because I'd need to make patterns for them. M. My daughter can't afford that, so you'll do them for free for her. Me. No, I won't. M. But she's my daughter. Me. And I'm the upholsterer, which is a profession that, like many others, requires payment for usage. M. But, me. Are you giving me the keys or not? Because I don't have time for this. Ed. Don't allocate my mom like tea hearty. Me. I was talking to you both. M. How dare you? Me. Last chance. M. You can't treat me like this. I am. Me. Interrupting her bullcrap. I'm finished with this conversation. Please leave or I will call the police to remove you both from this premises, and your vehicles will be towed. Ed. M. Hash an amount of words I couldn't process within the 3 seconds before I got my phone out and began to dial 999 number. Me. Piss off. M. I'm calling the police. I hear her nattering into her phone, and she storms off with her demon trailing behind her. So far, no police. I'll update this post if anything happens that is of interest. Thank you for watching. Slap that like button and comment your opinion on these stories below. I'm waiting. Write that comment. Seriously. Have you written it yet? If you don't comment, you make a bunny cry somewhere. You're not that kind of person. I know. Anyways, peace out and catch you tomorrow.